no music. Hey, we're live!
Yeah, really?
Hey, Eric, you stole my moment. You know, Eric, I got drums behind me, so I got other percussion.
Okay.
You could have like a jam.
Got a full band here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Playground Experiment Volume 100 and what volume is it? 146. Yes. Okay. My name is Taylor Mitchell. Great to see everyone. I'm currently in New York City, the ancestral land of the Lenape people. Tonight, we have artists participating from a range of places all over the country or world. And you can see them, several of them right now holding up the names of the indigenous peoples whose ancestral lands they are currently on. We at the PGA acknowledge that wherever we are in this country, we are occupying stolen land, and we honor and respect the indigenous people that once lived here, as well as the indigenous people who continue to live here and contribute to our society. We at the PGE strive to be an inclusive organization for all theater artists. And with that, I'd like to invite everyone else who is participating tonight to turn their cameras on and say hello. And welcome to the virtual stage, our founder and artistic director, Mike
Lesser!
Yay! Yay! Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Virtual Volume 146. We have the amazing Taylor Mitchell tonight as our host. We're super glad to have him. And again, I am Mike Lesser. And for those of you that are new to the Playground Experiment, because your friend has said, hey, you should watch me do this thing tonight, welcome. What you're here tonight to see is our virtual volume, which is our flagship program where you're going to hear 6 playwrights bring in 15 minutes of work in process, meaning it's not completed, it's not done, it is not ready for review. It is work that they need to hear and they're working on. And what better way to hear it than bringing in the amazing, the brilliant, the awesome Playground Experiment acting pool. So give a huge, everybody unmute yourself and clap for the PGE actors tonight.
PGE actors! Yay!
Amazing. We love them. Tonight also, if you are watching on YouTube, we have the amazing Benny D, or Ben Dworkin, who will be moderating tonight and chatting with you. So feel free to let Benny know that you're there on the YouTube and talk with him on YouTube.
A Benny D prime time.
Yay, awesome. And so the first thing that I'm going to ask our actors to do is their first bit of stage direction notes to disappear, leaving me with just our amazing 6 writers. As our writers are coming on, we are super thrilled to have 2 amazing stage directions readers tonight, Leslie C. Nemeth and Darpan Joshi. They will be reading stage directions for all of our plays this evening. And maybe some extra roles. And I'm gonna let Taylor take over with just our actors, our writers tonight. Benny D will be on YouTube and we'll chit chat. Here we go.
Do I go to YouTube?
Yes, you do, Benny D.
Just sign off the call and go to YouTube.
Awesome. Yay. It's good to see everyone. Thanks for coming to volume 146. Good to see everyone. All right. First up tonight, we have the fabulous, amazing David M. Kirby with the Book of Jericho. That's you, sir.
Oh, hi.
Yes, hello.
Oh, me.
The one, the only.
Yes. So I guess you want me to tell you a little about Book of Jericho. This is scene 2. As it stands right now. This is a full-length play, work in progress. Some of you may have seen scene 1 earlier. This was the one that took place in a jail cell or a police holding room during the George Floyd riots in Minneapolis, Minnesota last summer. And we had two young men placed with each other, one wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt and one dressed as QAnon shaman in a fur coat. And after some very awkward moments, it turns out there's some chemistry. And they ended up kissing each other right as QAnon shaman's father spotted them. And that's where that scene ended. So this is the next morning in the home of the Novaks. So the one who was dressed in the fur coat was Josh Jr. or JJ. And the young man he was in the jail with was Sean Miguel McKenzie, or just Mac to his friends. So this is Josh Jr.'s parents, Josh Sr. and his mother Vera, the morning after. I'm going to bring my actors on now. I thought they'd be here by now. Where are you? I have Brad Makarowski reading Josh Novak Sr. and Maria Elena O'Brien reading Vera Novak. And, you know, fun bit of trivia. Turns out Maria Elena's mother's name is really Vera. Who knew? And Darpan Joshi is reading my stage directions tonight. And Darpan, I know we didn't talk about this before, but there's one line that JJ has in this script, and I'm going to do it. So I don't need you to worry about reading that. We didn't get to talk about that before. So that's all. Without further ado, I'm going to disappear and let my actors do their fabulous, fabulous work. So this is Book of Jericho.
Book of Jericho by David Michael Kirby, Scene 2. Time, 9:30 in the morning, late May, early June 2020. Place, suburban Minneapolis, Minnesota, Novak family home, kitchen. Lights up. Vera Novak is busy about the 44 is busy about the kitchen, putting dishes away, wiping the counters, etc. She's dressed simply for the task at hand, but obviously didn't just roll out of bed. She focuses on her work and hears Josh Novak Sr., 47, enter the room, but does not turn around. Josh Sr. gets a mug out of the cabinet, pours himself a cup of coffee.
Make you some breakfast, sweetheart?
That would be nice.
Oh, it's you.
So, no breakfast then?
Late start for you today, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was a pretty late night.
Nothing pretty about it.
You have no idea. JJ down yet?
I thought you were him, so no, I haven't seen him this morning yet.
He came home last night, didn't he?
What do you mean? How would I know? He was with you, wasn't he?
No, he was not with me. I'm starting to think he never will be.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind.
I will not never mind. What aren't you telling me? I started watching the news, but it's all so close to home. I had to shut it off. What happened yesterday?
Fake news? Again?
Leave it, Joshua.
Just saying, you watch that crap, let yourself be brainwashed.
I said leave it.
All right.
Stick to the point, please. Yesterday, what happened?
JJ was in a mood. Shot his mouth off once we parked. I was already tense. I snapped at him a little. Anyway, I lost sight of him not long after. Things got real crazy real quick. If you saw any news, you'd know.
Are you saying you lost our son in the middle of a riot and you have no idea where he is? Am I hearing you right? Is that what happened?
Yes and no. Yes, I lost him, but I found him early this morning at around 4 a.m. in jail.
What?
Not jail, really, more like a holding room.
Not the time for semantics, Josh.
Yeah? Semantics? Well, you won't ever believe this. Still makes me sick to my stomach.
What?
Better sit down.
Vera hesitates, then does so.
I'm sitting. I'm listening. Out with it.
You know, I can't stand to think about it, but it's all I can think about. To say it out loud somehow makes it more real and more awful. It makes me furious.
Vera stands.
Fine. Keep it to yourself as long as you want. I'm going to go check on the boy.
Vera begins to exit, pausing at the door, not turning around.
You think you're furious? You're about to learn the meaning of the word.
Vera exits. Josh Sr. paces. Vera re-enters almost immediately, holding her grandfather's raccoon coat hat in one hand and a torn piece of loose leaf paper in the other.
He made it home then.
Only to drop this off. His bed hasn't been slept in.
How could you tell?
He left a note.
I guess he can be considerate about some things.
I'm defecting.
Defecting? Defecting? You sure you read that right? Sure doesn't say defecating, because he pretty much shit on his whole fucking life last night. Me, you, our home, our church, our country, everything down the crapper.
Vera tosses the coat over a chair and stands opposite Josh Sr.
You know better. Never use that language in front of me, Joshua Kevin Novak. Not in my house, not in my presence, not ever. Now, I'm going to ask one last time, what happened last night?
I saw JJ tangled up with another boy at the precinct, some Mexican looking kid wearing a BLM shirt. JJ was kissing him on the mouth. The fucking enemy. Our son's a goddamn faggot, queer, a homo, gay.
Is that all?
Is that all? Haven't you any sense? This reflects on us. You, me, how people perceive us as parents, as a family, not to mention as Christians, as Republicans.
Is that all?
It's fucking plenty.
He's still our son.
Not if he defects to that perversion, that so-called lifestyle. No more he's not.
Am I hearing you right? You'll disown our son, our only child, if he's gay? That's what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
What about love?
Ah, please. He can't love that other boy. They only met a few hours ago.
No, that's not what I meant. I'm talking about our love as a family. You for me for you, we for our son for us.
Talk about semantics.
No, I don't think so. Not at all.
That makes no sense, Vera, at all.
Do you love me?
Of course I do.
No, of course about it. Do you love me?
Yes, I do. I always have and always will.
Good. I love you too. Though God knows I don't like you very much these days. You are a much different man from the one I married. But God help me, I do love you.
Vera,
Do you love JJ?
kid is on my last damn nerve.
And you're on his. You'd see that if you ever paid him any attention.
You know, when he was born, I couldn't believe I had a son. A gift from God. For years, we were best buds. Now, kid makes me so goddamn furious. Why isn't he more like me?
You have got to be kidding. He is exactly like you. Headstrong, bottled up, frustrated. Also passionate and smart. Much, much smarter than you give him credit for.
How can someone so smart be so dumb at the same time?
Who are we talking about here? You or JJ?
Huh.
Are you ready to tell me what happened last night? Everything?
Vera reaches into the pocket of the fur coat, pulls out JJ's shattered birthday wristwatch, holding it up before placing it gently on the table. Josh Sr. stares at it, then nods.
Start at the beginning.
You knew our kid was a faggot, didn't you? You knew.
I suspected.
And you never thought to confide those suspicions in me?
Not once. I've seen how you are with him lately. It was only a feeling. I didn't know. Why would I tell you? What would you have done?
Knock some sense into him.
Like you did with his watch? Your gift?
It's not what I meant.
I don't think you know what you meant. Lately, you only communicate physically with violence.
Careful, Vera.
Or what? Don't you see how careful I am? I am careful. I've always been careful. I've been walking on eggshells in this powder keg for so long it's become a habit. You're the one who's careless. Careless with the truth, careless with your family, careless with your life.
Vera,
And you have no idea. You're clueless and careless. You couldn't care less. When did our vows, our love, our family stop having any three-dimensional meaning for you? When did they become flat cardboard substitutes for the real thing just so you could fit them into your increasingly nearsighted faux fox worldview?
Josh Sr. backhands Vera across the face.
sorry, Vera. I'm so sorry. You drove me to it. I had no idea you were so far gone.
Go on. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still the girl you married. You're the one who's different. And you're right. You have no idea. You haven't a clue.
It's not true.
It is. I said a little while ago I loved you, remember? Moments ago.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
Vera.
You snuffed it. In an instant.
This is my house, Vera. You cannot speak to me like that in my own house.
Your house.
Who bought it? Who maintains it?
You bought it. I'll grant you that. But the mortgage is in both our names. It took years for all three of us to make this house our home, years, but less than a second to shatter it into kindling. One thoughtless, careless moment. Your carelessness, Josh, not mine. Yours.
Your carelessness, Vera. This is your fault. All of it. And I won't let you forget it either.
That's a shame, isn't it? Grab some things. Go to work. Get your breakfast on the way. And Josh, find someplace else to crash tonight because you're not coming back here.
Oh, no?
No.
Yeah, I'd like to see you keep me away from my house.
This house, the home you tossed away with a single strike, try.
I never try. I act.
So do I, Joshy. So do I.
They continue staring one another down as the phone rings and rings. Neither Vera nor Josh Sr. move to answer it. The answering machine picks up and Vera's recorded voice fills the space.
You've reached the Novak residence. Sorry we missed you. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks, and have a great day.
Mom? Mom, are you there? I got to talk to you right away, in person. God, I wish you were there. I don't have my cell. Mom! Okay, I guess you're not there. I can't remember if you work today. I barely remember what day it is. Okay, guess I'll try later. I'm all right, I promise. Better than all right, actually. Better than I've been in a long time. I love you. I love you so much.
JJ hangs up. The machine clicks off. The message has let the air out of the room a bit. Josh Sr. breaks the stare, grabs his things, pecks Vera on the cheek, and begins to exit. Vera doesn't move a muscle, just picks up the shattered wristwatch from the table and studies it. At the door, Josh Sr. turns back.
I'll see you tonight. Love you.
Josh Sr. exits, a door slams.
I know you do. And no, you won't.
Vera goes to the kitchen phone and picks it up and dials information.
Hennepin County Court, please.
A moment, then Vera presses a button on the phone. Another moment, and then...
Good morning. I hope you can help me or direct me to someone who can. Thank you. How do I go about filing a restraining order against my husband? As quickly as possible, please.
Blackout.
Okay, I just got chills. That was incredible.
Thank you. Great work, guys. Beautiful work.
Incredible cast. Whoa. Really amazing. Really, really fantastic work all around. Woo! Okay. An upper for sure.
Yeah, just a great way to start the evening.
Yep, just really wonderful, great, very positive. No, it was truly amazing. Thank you so much for all your hard work and
Thank you guys. That was wonderful.
great job. Excellent. Next up, we have Kendra Augustine with Mismatched Socks. Hi, Kendra.
Hi. Okay. I'm good. How are you?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like a piece, like a light comedy about a couple, or sorry, people who had a fling many years ago meeting each other randomly on holiday in New York, as one does. That's it. I will have the actors introduce themselves.
Great.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael. I'm going to be playing Evan.
Hi, I'm Gaia. I'm going to be playing Gia.
Hi, I'm Leslie C. Nevett. I'm reading the stage directions.
Okay, take it away. Mismatched Socks by Kendra Augustine.
Thanksgiving Day, New York City. Gia, wearing mismatched socks, they definitely have patterns or animals, is lying down on a bench enjoying a hot dog on a bun while jamming to music from her headphones. After a beat, Evan, a bit flustered, dressed in a suit and tie, carries a white to-go takeout box and sees the bench is taken. He's annoyed, but sees the socks and laughs at a memory. He looks around to see where he can eat his food in peace. He sees an unoccupied wall on the side of a bodega, so he attempts to walk over. Before he makes it, he trips on his own feet and his food falls with him, the box hitting one of Gia's outstretched hands before they hit the ground.
Fuck!
Gia jumps up to help him.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I can be a bit of a klutz sometimes. Are you okay?
Gia tries to put the rice back in the box. Evan looks down at her like, what's she doing? She gets up and hands him the box. She doesn't look at him because what she's doing is kind of embarrassing.
I promise you, I'm not going to eat that.
He takes the box and throws it in the trash.
I'm sorry. I wanted to help you, but didn't know how and had to do something to make you think I was at least trying.
I'm the bad guy here. You have nothing to be sorry about. Gia?
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
It's me, Evan. I study abroad. We spent every day together for a month. We were each other's free pass. Indiana, ring a bell?
Oh, yes. All the bells are ringing. Yikes. I was unholy then. Wow, you look
Fatter, older, uglier, but
no, just different. What are you doing in New York City on Thanksgiving Day?
I guess you forgot the part where I was born and raised here. Like you. I'm here to see family this weekend. I imagine you are also here to see your family?
I live here with my family. So this is just another weekend.
Okay. Got it. I love New York. You can be anywhere and see someone you used to know at any corner.
Yep.
Okay, it was nice seeing you.
Evan starts to walk back in the direction from where he came.
Wait.
He stops. She points at an ice cream truck at the end of the sidewalk. He turns to face it.
That's mine.
You work in an ice cream truck?
Correction, I own an ice cream truck.
Girl boss.
That's practically a slur.
I immediately felt stupid and ashamed for saying it.
Good. Can I get you some ice cream?
You don't know me anything.
I know, but I pity you.
Oh,
Gesturing to his suit and disheveled nature.
Okay, yeah. Free ice cream would be good.
Folge mir.
They walk towards the ice cream truck.
You still remember a bit of German.
A little bit.
Are you still making art?
9.
Not even on a corporate graphic design level?
She just keeps walking ahead.
What flavors do you have?
She shakes her head and scoffs. It's just a stupid question. She gets inside the truck and shuts the door. There's a bit of inactivity. It makes Evan nervous. After a beat, she opens the window and is now dressed like she works in a 1950s soda shop.
Welcome to Gia's Little Ice Cream Shop, where we have every flavor you want. What can I do for you?
Black cheesecake raspberry ice cream.
Coming right up.
Wow.
She proceeds to make the ice cream for him and get out the ingredients.
You know, I was going to play hooky today, but this whole week I've been trying this thing where I show up to places I don't want to be just to see if anything interesting will happen. And voila.
Honored to be the interesting thing that happened. Earlier, you said you were unholy. Are you holy now? Like a nun or something?
No. These days, I'm just a serial monogamist or a serial single woman.
Oh, nice. So am I.
Which one are you currently?
A serial monogamist. You?
A serial single woman.
She hands him his ice cream cup with a little spoon.
Thanks.
She gets an already made cup of mint chocolate for herself.
Why are you wearing a suit on the morning of this genocidal holiday? Surely you're not working.
No, I work in DC, where I also live. I mean, I also get paid to make the comic strips for a local humor magazine there. It's my job. But I don't normally wear suits, but I bought this suit for my flight because I wanted to look good.
For me? Oh, how sweet.
She shuts the window of her ice cream truck without any warning. Evan's not sure if this means she's done talking or if he should wait. After a beat, she comes out, no longer in 1950s soda shop getup. Evan sees her ice cream close up.
Mint chocolate chip. You still a fan of all things minty?
And of pineapples on pizza.
And whipped cream on buttholes.
That's all you, buddy.
He looks uncomfortably at her like he's trying to remember her face one last time.
I should go. I'm gonna go.
But that sweet bench you wanted to sit on is empty. Don't you want to feel your butthole on it?
I'm asking my girlfriend to marry me today.
Oh,
That's why I bought this suit. I wanted to look good for her. I told her parents that I would come straight from the airport and that I would propose to her as soon as I got home. They offered to pick me up, but I took a bus, then a cab, then a subway, then stopped at a halal truck because I wanted to enjoy New York things as a single man one last time.
oh. How'd you two meet?
She's the one who gave me the free pass.
Did she know you took her up on that?
It was always don't ask, don't tell.
But you were already with her for what, 2 years when you and I were hooking up? And it's now like 6 years later? It's taken you that long to propose?
We were on and off. On for the last year. What happened to you and your guy?
I didn't love him or like him. So I dumped him right after us.
And you didn't call me?
Your number, I think I lost it.
Gia takes another bite of her ice cream.
Well, if you did call me, my girlfriend and I would not have had our son. Are you okay?
I feel sorry for that kid.
Gia starts walking towards the bench. Evan follows, hot on her heels.
Hey, we love that kid. And we're gonna get married so he can have a nice family like the kind she and I grew up with.
Getting married for the kids. How retro.
Judgmental Gia rears her ugly head once again.
Infantile even rears his smelly breath again.
Oh.
He stops, breathes on the back of his hand, then smells it. His breath doesn't smell too bad. Gia's made her way to the bench. Evan watches her and doesn't say anything.
Did you love me?
Summer has a way of making one think the magic that it offers is permanent. But I figured once winter came, whatever we felt would die a natural death.
It didn't die for me. I must say, I am embarrassed to have forgotten.
It's just, I didn't realize you were such a square.
What? When? When did you realize?
A few minutes ago.
Well, at least I'm not a serial single person.
I think in a way I was holding out for you. Like somewhere in the back of my mind, I fantasized that something like this would happen. One day we'd randomly meet again, both unattached, and we'd declare our love and we'd spend our lives together. But I forget life is not romantic. And I appreciate that. Now go ask the muta of your child to marry you, and may you live in a nice house in a gated community while you make your little comic strips and have one more baby to keep the eldest one company.
That sounds like a good damn life. One better than giving up on your dreams.
Evan turns around too quickly in an effort to walk away and ends up dropping his ice cream.
Sorry, no refills.
Evan turns furiously quick to face her.
I want my socks back.
Gia takes off her shoes, then her socks. One by one, she tries to rip them. Not so easy. So she throws one at Evan. Opens the second one, spits in it and throws it at him. He catches it and throws it back at her, then leaves with the one good sock.
Also, I didn't give up on my dreams. I discovered that I only liked art as a hobby and not as a profession. So now I sell ice cream, make my own schedule, and go on road trips with my parents, and there are no signs of familicide in my future.
She throws a sock on the ground, goes to the bench, sits down like a pouty kid with a balled up fist, to the void.
And Cool Whip isn't even real whipped cream, you lousy fuck.
After a beat, she lies down and yelps out a yelp while stomping her sockless, shoeless feet on the bench. End of play.
That was wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
Great job, Kendrick. Great, great. I was laughing a lot. It felt very real, very awkward, very exciting, and very fun. Great job, actors too. Excellent, excellent job. That was really fun. I really want ice cream now. Okay, so next up we have Jeff Smith to sail Forbidden Seas. Oh, and we have a little baby.
Howdy, I'm Jeff. This is Gnome Gnome. The piece tonight is called To Sail Forbidden Seas. It's a little bit of an unusual one. I don't really have a content warning for you, but just as explanation, all of the lines are going to be drawn from 3 public domain pieces from the turn of the century. Moby Dick, The Turn of the Screw, and The Call of Cthulhu. The actual setting of our piece tonight is on a yacht with a newlywed couple, James and Beatrice. And so let me introduce my cast. And so if folks will come on now, we have Peyton Chavis playing Beatrice, the new wife, and Ren Jackson playing James, the new husband. And then we also have stage directions as well. Sorry, I didn't quite catch names. So
it's Darpan Joshi.
Thank you very much,
stage
Darpan.
directions.
Thank you very much. I'll let you folks take it away from here.
Great. To sail the Forbidden Seas, Jeff Smith.
Yes. Beatrice is sleeping on the deck of the yacht with a book nearby. James walks out onto the deck of the yacht, hungover.
Oh. The seclusion of the sea. What's the report?
Beatrice doesn't respond.
Why don't you speak?
Think not. Is my 11th commandment and sleep when you can? Is my 12th?
I shall never sleep calmly again when I think of the horrors that lurk ceaselessly. 2 in a bed.
Beatrice walks off and returns with a coffee, which she hands to James.
Ooh. Better to sleep with a sober cannibal than a drunk Christian.
Beatrice goes back to lying down.
There's something special in the wind. This is my journey coming to an end.
I know not all that may be coming, but be it what it will, I'll go to it laughing.
I remember that I tried to laugh, and I seemed to see how ugly I looked.
Hideously marred about the faces. You cannot hide the soul.
I see my child in thine eye.
I shall never knowingly supply a link in so hideous a chain.
If the child gives the effect of another turn of the screw, what do you say to 2 children?
Human madness is oftentimes a cunning and most feline thing when you think it fled. It may have but become transfigured into some still subtler form.
There is a green pasture where our children's grandchildren will go for bread.
We live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far.
I love to sail forbidden seas.
Man, strange interests at sea as well as on land.
The most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of the human mind to correlate its contents.
Why say more?
What will you say then?
Nothing.
Kiss me.
No.
Woman's a horror of horrors. So curious a creature.
There is no folly of the beast of the earth which is not infinitely outdone by the madness of man.
You like them with the spirit to be naughty.
Man is a money-making animal.
What business is that of yours?
It's a mutual joint stock world.
Men may seem detestable as joint stock companies and nations, but man in the ideal is so noble and sparkling, such a grand and glowing creature.
A pulpy, tentacled head surmounted a grotesque and scaly body with rudimentary wings.
A Khan of the plank, and a king of the sea, and a great lord of Leviathan.
Why is almost every boy at some time or other crazy to go to sea?
Free and wild, and beyond good and evil, with laws and morals thrown aside, and all men shouting and reveling in joy. Why not?
Having little or no money in my purse and nothing particular to interest me on shore, I thought I would sail about a little and see the watery part of the world.
Nothing more to be got from shore, huh?
Now, how do you know what I think?
I know too much.
Oh, you know where we are?
A tour of Greenland and Iceland.
An ill voyage, ill begun, ill continued.
A pleasant sun.
We can turn it into a fair wind that will drive us toward home.
Away we sail to fight some other world.
God knows where.
The sea will always have its way.
What soulless thing laughs before a wreck?
Future things swim before me, as in empty outlines and skeletons.
Children.
Why not?
The green, sticky spawn of the stars.
You're afraid.
Sheer terror. Acute fear.
I must not and can. Ignorance is the parent of fear.
I must not and cannot think.
A time will come.
But not now.
In a short time.
It may be imagined.
How can I if you don't imagine?
Overboard you go.
What has risen may sink, and what has sunk may rise.
Down to the bottom of the sea.
To swim in the open ocean is easy.
A child.
2 children.
We are too much like oysters observing the sun through the water.
You grin and bear it.
I should never be able to bear that.
We might bear things together.
Well, are you so sure?
I'm not sure of anything, but you.
A voyage of considerable length.
Far beyond all visible horizons, out of sight of land.
My brothers and sisters and the cat and the dog at home. a snug family,
Dignity and danger go hand in hand.
the beauty and dignity of
The audacious
daring
and boundless adventure of
children.
what will you say then?
Well, I try all things. I achieve what I can.
See how elastic our prejudice grow when once love comes to bend them. Set sail!
One perilous and long voyage.
The great floodgates of the wonder world swung open.
Our innocent little precious lives. My children.
Free and wild and beyond good and evil.
At sea.
Curtain.
That was Poe. Oh my. Did I come on too soon? Is that it? Great. That was amazing. Wow, Jeff, that was great. And cast, wow, we were all kind of transfixed and everything kind of like waves just washed over us. It was really, it was just wonderful. So thank you so much, Jeff. That was great.
Work, everyone. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, intermission dance party. Come on, Mike. Oh, come on, everyone, actually. Yes, everyone, come on. Let's dance. Make sure you mute yourselves.
You're around. I feel the earth move. Woo-hoo. That was from Power Step Music from a different version. Give it up for all of our amazing actors and writers. Oh my God. Okay, writers and actors of Act 2. That's how you do two people scenes brilliantly. Magic. Each one of the scenes were brilliant. The acting, oh my God, oh my God. Act 2, you got a lot to live up to, I'm just saying. Give it up. And we have some amazing people out in the YouTube. Benny D, how's the YouTube going? Are people loving everything?
I think so, Mike. It's going great. It's going great.
I love it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give a couple of announcements of upcoming events and things that are coming up. Just to give you guys a heads up, we have so much going on in the next couple of weeks. And guys, if you don't leave me alone, you guys could stay with me. I love beautiful faces. Don't leave me alone. I mean, Taylor's here and Brad's here. Oh, now everybody disappeared. Thanks, guys. So this is what's coming up. We have the amazing, on this Saturday, we have our Drop and Give Me 10. No, I lied. I'm making things up. This Saturday, we have our First Reads Festival number 16. Thank you. First Reads Festival. We have 3 amazing plays, one at 2:00. We have Pete Casanave's play, Death Comes to Every Man, or Does It? And then at 5:00, we have Honeybees by Kirsten Hopkins. Woo-hoo. And then we have The Mesquite Tree, An American Tragedy by David Davila at 8 p.m. So you can go to our website right now and sign up to watch those first reads or first table read of those amazing plays. We have Drop and Give Me 10 number 15. Sign up, which is if you want to write or act for our anti-10-minute plays festival. The theme is Mazel Tov Sweet Quinceañera. So feel free to sign up for that. You can go to our website. Also, next Monday, not this Monday, but the one after this one, is our Conversations Between Artists. Topic will be announced shortly after this broadcast, I guess, and we'll be sending out an email about that. And you can come and just we talk on a topic. I believe the topic is pandemic's coming over. What do we do as artists next? How do we move forward? That's kind of the topic, but we're kind of working through the title. We don't have a funny title yet. We always like funny titles. So that's coming up next Monday. You can come and join us. It's a little bit.
Did you say the pandemic's almost over? What do we do next?
That's the topic, Benny D. Exactly.
Okay, keep that vibe up because we want that vibe come 2022.
Exactly. And then that being said, and also we've been doing our play dates, which is always every Tuesday at noon and Thursday at 7. If you are in New York City on Tuesday and you want to join us, we've been doing them live actually at Dante Park, right on 63rd by Lincoln Center. Feel free and come and join us from 12 to 1:30. Other than that, I think Act 1 gave us a lot to think about. So Act 2, I'm ready for you. So I'm going to give it back to Taylor and bring on our next round of people. Woohoo!
Thank you so much, Mike. Excellent. Yes, Act 1, fantastic work. Next up, we have Raven Peretti with the Alcotts. Hello, Raven Peretti Stamper. Oh.
It helps to get that volume working.
Yep. Yes, mute.
Yes. How are you doing?
Well, and yourself?
Pretty good. So I should tell you a little bit about this piece that I'm working on. It is called The Alcotts, and it's a full-length show that's about a quarter of the way we're in. And it's about a very wealthy couple who hatch a diabolical plan to get a trust fund. And what we're seeing is the second scene. What we missed in the first scene is that the wealthy couple goes to a psychiatrist's office to enlist her services to help them with the plan. And the wife goes rogue and starts talking about how she thinks her husband is cheating on her. And this is the fallout from that scene. So my cast is obviously here, so they can pop on the screen. We've got Diana Cherkis as Kate. We've got Jamil Chokachi as Dr. Levy. I'm sorry, as Stephen. We've got Alexandra D'Souza, which I hope I'm pronouncing properly, as Dr. Levy. Yes! And we've got Leslie C. Nemeth doing stage directions for us.
Amazing. The drama unfolds with the Alcotts.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you, Kate. You have shared your feelings so eloquently.
Like she was telling a well-thought tale. Well done.
I had no idea I felt this way until this moment. It just came out. I'm sorry. I strayed.
Come to the doctor, she says. We can talk about our plans, she says, and then...
I was nervous. You have to believe me.
I'm leaving.
Mr. Alcott, please sit down. It's very possible that she just found the strength to talk about these matters.
You don't know my wife.
I know she is looking for truth so she can rationalize her decision to stay, so she knows her decision is worthwhile. You'll have to unveil the truth to do so.
You really will. If we're going to go through with this, I'll need to know.
How many private investigators have you hired?
One.
And he told you I'm not cheating, did he not? You should tell the doctor that your story is rubbish so we can move on. We have more important matters to discuss.
Her feelings are valid in this room and will not be discarded.
Her talk of a fling will pass. I see that's why we're here, but really, it's just another theory of hers. She spent an entire year wondering how her house keys ended up in the hamper a few times. It had to be the staff playing a joke on her. Or I accidentally folded them up in some shirt she needed washed. Not once did that happen, but the keys continued to wind up in the bin. Then one day, after a private happy hour, she caught herself in the act. She couldn't apologize enough. I dined on 4-course dinners with wine pairings all week. Do you remember that, love?
It happened 5 times, Stephen.
The drinking or the keys? If it's the former, it's much more than 5.
How would you know?
Everyone knows you like to self-medicate with a few libations.
What are you implying?
How many do you have each night?
I've 1.
Are you
Maybe
sh-
2. How dare you?
I could ask the staff for a more accurate description.
There is a time and a place for this discussion.
All of your discussions only when you and you alone are ready. A woman knows when a man's been unfaithful, then a man knows that his tipsy wife has thrown the keys in the hamper.
I did not start throwing my keys in the hamper every time I had a few drinks.
You will admit you caught yourself in the act, won't you?
Once!
I wonder what your state of mind
I
was.
am not an alcoholic. Besides, how would you know? You're never home.
Someone needs to work to keep you in the lifestyle of luxury you've grown accustomed to.
I am perfectly capable of supporting myself.
Are you going to play violin on street corners for income?
I was conceived by money.
And raised by money as well, and yet here we are. Your heart is demanding an end to our current financial squeeze, but until we do, we will abide by the status quo because someone has to pay for your butler.
I am going to wrap myself around you like a parolee's ankle bracelet when we get home so you can't go anywhere.
Please, Mr. and Mrs. Alcott.
What?
What?
Let's focus. It's obvious that your relationship might benefit from more time together.
I feel like I'm being backed into a corner. We didn't come here to discuss this matter of...
No one's trying to make you feel that way. We're just trying to find ways you can help your wife work through her fears. What steps you can take to assuage her. This is a place where you can make these decisions.
We've definitely come to the right place. You're going to be the key to our happiness. I can feel it.
I will certainly do my best to help you, but you're both the key. You have to be prepared to discuss difficult topics, whether Stephen has a penchant for other women. It won't be easy, but we'll muddle through.
Thankfully, we're off to a good start. I know you believe me.
I will make no assumptions, but we will talk openly about your suspicion.
Are you married, Dr. Levy?
I don't share the details of my private life with my patients. We should...
Doc, you can tell us.
I can't.
During our time together, you should think of this as a polyamorous relationship where no sex is required, but the truth is.
How colorful. I don't think anyone's ever described a doctor-patient relationship that way.
I have a way with words.
Yes, Stephen, you do. But however flamboyant your description of our partnership is, you don't need to know about my personal matters.
But I do. You see, if you were married, you'd truly understand my frustrations with my wife.
Stephen!
I'm sure you'd feel better if you knew. Maybe she has a cat for a husband, too.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Are you done?
I bet you're divorced and stayed in this line of business to prove that you weren't a failure at matrimony.
You know what they say, Doc. Those who teach can't do.
It's not ethical to discuss my personal affairs.
We promise. Knowing won't hurt us in any way.
We should be focusing on the state of your union. Kate mentioned the vows being easy in the beginning, but I'm wondering if you're finding them stifling.
Would you find them stifling? It's a hypothetical question. I imagine a successful woman like yourself must find it difficult to live with an ordinary man.
If you married a supernatural being, they'd wave a wand and you'd forget all the indiscretions. But alas, not when you're married to a human.
Is your husband a mere human?
I am not going to answer that question. We should move on.
What if I I gave you $1,000 to tell us.
Mr. Alcott, do you understand what you're suggesting?
Oh, I do. What do you say? I've got 10 crisp, tax-free $100 bills.
I cannot.
Of course you can. I'm practically giving it away.
Mr. Alcott, my code of ethics is worth more than that.
$1,000 cash seems like a great deal for a simple answer.
Pulls out a wad of hundreds that he slowly puts down on the desk.
Going once, twice, 3?
The answer is yes.
She slips the money into her bag.
Bravo! Bravo! What should we ask her next?
Are you still married?
Ooh.
One answer is more than enough.
Stephen puts 5 more hundreds down, which the doctor takes.
No, we're divorced. Do you want to know if I have any children?
Dr. Levy takes a look at Stephen and he puts his wallet away.
No.
Is it important for you to always get your way?
Occasionally.
Have you ever been tricked along the way?
Rarely.
Nothing surprises Stephen.
Except you, my dear.
I can see how it would be hard to get one over on you, so I must admit, I feel wonderful in having done so.
Excuse me?
You could have just Googled me. My husband has a very prolific blog about our foibles.
Oh, Dr. Levy, of course we know about that. We read it in its entirety.
Oh, we just wanted to see if you would break the rules for us.
And you did, which is wonderful. Our psychiatrist needs to be able to bend.
For the greater good, our marriage.
Then you've come to the right place, as you said yourself a few moments ago.
That was when I thought you believed me.
I'm confused. Are you now saying you don't want to work together?
I'm not sure. You bend so easily.
Only because I wasn't disclosing anything unethical. Are you upset that I didn't really break the rules? Perhaps I should refer you to a different practitioner who's a little more bendy.
Nice offensive strategy, Dr. Levy, but you still have to impress to earn your keep.
We're very vocal in our community. People have a tendency to listen to what we say.
Of course. I don't want to overstep my boundaries, and I don't want you to move on. You must feel secure knowing you're in the hands of one of the top psychiatrists in the city.
Oh, I'm not sure how I feel about one of the best.
Why aren't you the best?
There's no way to quantify that.
I'm not a big fan of humility. Either you're at the top of your game or you're not.
I most certainly am.
And we can trust you.
Implicitly. But what are you here to discuss? His supposed affair? Your plan to save your marriage? Me?
That is a good question.
The most important one you've asked.
I don't understand.
We are having some marital issues, but nothing we can't sort out on our own.
Sure. There will be raised voices, but we've been here before.
20 minutes into the session and you think your problems are solved. I'm quite pleased to hear this, but would recommend a few more appointments to sort things out.
Is that because your practice is struggling or because we need assistance?
I don't know what you're implying. Business is brisk.
It's just that there were a lot of appointments to choose from.
I try to make myself accessible to new patients, and you sounded especially troubled over the phone. I was willing to move meetings to see you.
We appreciate that. The journey we're about to embark on will be trying. We need more than an hour of your time each week. Are you accessible at all hours?
I have a beeper. I will give you the number.
And how long until we hear from you after the beep?
I try not to make promises about that.
Oh, that is not good enough. You work for us, and we need immediate attention. My wife has spells where she's swept away by her emotions and has to talk to get past it. If my money can't buy immediate response within minutes, I'm not sure that we're in the right place.
That can be arranged for a fee.
Do you make house calls?
In general, no. That's not something I usually do.
Stephen.
I can make an exception if it's essential. For a fee.
Fee. Thank you, thank you. Do you feel more comfortable now, love?
Yes, we can stay.
I'm happy to hear that. I want to make sure you both don't teeter over the edge in full-blown resentment. There are 7 phases to adultery: recovery, shock, denial, obsession, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.
We never get past denial, Doc.
Maybe now is a good time for solo vacations. A spa in Europe, wading in Colorado.
Are you suggesting that I leave him alone?
So I can fornicate with my lovers? Oh, who should I pick this time? Oh, I'd love to try someone new. Will it be a white, a black, a brown, a blonde, a brunette? Oh, I know, an albino. Really, love, I do my best to assuage your fears, but it's constant.
I'm not sure I understand, Stephen. I apologize for the interruption, but I need clarification. Kate, you said this was the first time you thought he was cheating.
When did I say that?
You said you thought he is sleeping with Alice. You only mentioned this one person.
I didn't say he was sleeping with Alice. You made an assumption and you said you wouldn't do that.
I wasn't looking at my notes. Yes, see, I wrote that you inferred they were together. My mistake.
It's so early in the session for that type of error.
Do you make a lot of mistakes, Dr. Levy?
It's not. I don't, usually. Mistakes are a part of life. I am only human, after all, but my apologies. I don't want you to get the impression that I am not focusing on you. I am.
We understand. Really, we do. New relationships are hard to navigate sometimes.
We require some getting used to.
You'll have to give me a chance to redeem myself. May we resume?
Of course.
Yeah. Do what you do best.
Thank you. Is it fair to say that infidelity is a constant topic in your home?
I mean, a 7-year-old could interpret the facts that way.
Doc, contrary to what my emotional wife is saying, it's all right. Take a moment, try again.
You're going to help us form a plan that will
save our relationship, and we're grateful.
You do seem to have a solid foundation to work with, but it's important to see where regret might grow from. Regret and resentment are some of the reasons couples find themselves in the predicament you're in.
Now that makes sense.
There's a reason for every comment and question in this room.
Oh, Doc, I'm sorry, but it doesn't feel that way.
Excuse me?
Everything feels random.
She's right. Everything's a bit unorthodox.
That's because you're exploring your feelings and because your session just started. You'll see things clearly by the time you go.
Will we be cured?
You'll have the tools to cope with any decision you make.
And we'll have your assistance when we stumble.
Of course. Until you're ready to go on your own.
We appreciate that.
I'm at your service.
No matter what the topic is.
We have so many things we want to discuss.
That might even help your practice.
There is nothing wrong with my practice. It's thriving.
Doc, that's not what we've heard.
Are you here to save your marriage or find a business partner?
Both.
I focus on marriages in distress. If you want a business partner, you'll have to find someone else.
You haven't even heard our proposition.
If it's regarding my business, I'm not interested.
But it's so obvious you're floundering and that you need the money.
I don't know why you would say that.
A psychiatrist acting as a marriage counselor?
You didn't seem to mind when I offered you my services.
Is that even legal?
I have a social worker's license in addition to my psychiatrist's.
How many questions would you have to answer for the right sum?
I only gave you public information, and I try to be flexible, work with each patient's needs.
Do you remember Charles James? His mother brought him in for counseling after a horrible skiing accident in Aspen last year.
I cannot discuss my clients.
He's in rehab now for a terrible OxyContin addiction. We talked to him, and he said you helped him get the OxyContin.
I don't prescribe painkillers.
And then there's Mrs. Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
She was weaned off her pain meds, but somehow found more after visiting you.
That's a coincidence.
We don't think so. We think you're willing to do anything for extra dough.
Your practice is in trouble and your ex-husband is suing you for alimony.
He's chums with your judge, isn't he? They went to the same fraternity together.
How dare you look into my finances?
We had to make sure you were the right person for the job, Doc.
What on earth do you mean?
The sky's the limit on those potential alimony payments. We can help with that. Put in a good word. Put extra money in your pockets.
What would I have to do?
End of scene.
Whoa, the twists and the turns and all of the tables turning and the blackmail and wow. That was fascinating, Raven. That was really fantastic and wonderful, wonderful acting, and the cast was just great.
That was awesome, guys. Thank you.
Wow. Can't wait to see the future of this one too. What's gonna happen? Oh, great.
All right, see ya.
Thank you. Wow. Therapy, am I right? Oh, man. Okay. Next up, we have Andy Lee Carter with The Inner Sector. Welcome, Andy.
Hi, Taylor. Thanks for hosting.
Of course. Thank you for being here.
Oh, very thrilled. So, as you mentioned, my play is called The Inner Sector, and it's set in the future. And all the characters are robots, basically. And so their names are weird, like AS70X12L, but they also have more like English names, like River, Circe, Alpha, and Talos. So the Earth, it's like 3021. So it's like 1,000 years later from now or something like that. I'm bad with math, but like whatever that means. And so we're gonna see scene 3. So if you haven't seen the other, the first 2 scenes, basically what happens is River and Circe are kind of like worker bots, and they start to discover they have emotions, which is weird for a robot. And so they get in trouble with the boss of the company, Alpha, who's like, you shouldn't have emotions. And then they run away. And so this is right after they've run away and gone outside the wall that they're not supposed to go out. So I can invite my cast.
Come on, runaways.
So Bug is playing River, one of the runaways, and also Darpin is reading our stage directions and filling in for Cersei. Dylan is playing Talos, a new mysterious character, and Mina is playing Alpha.
Amazing. Well, take it away, everyone. Take it away, the cast. The Inner Sector by Andy Lee Carter.
You're still muted, Darpin.
Oh, yeah. Oops. The Inner Sector by Andy Lee Carter. Lights up on a pastoral scene outside the Inner Sector. We hear sounds of birds and nature. River and Cersei are enter running. River, slow down.
I can see it, Cersei. It's the place for my dream.
River and Cersei reach the edge of a cliff overlooking a picturesque landscape. The wind picks up. What is that on my face? Do you see something touching me?
No, Cersei. That's the breeze. I told you it was wonderful.
It is. It reminds me of my mother.
What?
My mother, she would chase me through the clothesline, and the laundry would hit me in the face as it blew in the wind. Wait, what am I talking about?
You have human memories too?
You mean you remember human stuff?
Yeah, I didn't want to say too much until we were out of the building, but I've been having so many memories and feelings. It's overwhelming sometimes.
Wait, tell me more. Did you have a mother too?
I did. And a father. And even a couple of dogs. Oh my god. Yeah, they were so much fun to play with.
I hope we find one.
I hope so too. But we don't really have time to look because, those Cyveds, they're going to be on our cans any minute.
Where are we going?
Not exactly sure, but I am trying to follow my feelings. And my feelings say to head north and follow the stars.
Okay, well, it's daytime, so...
Yeah. I noticed. But we could still head north. Shh. What was that?
They duck behind a bush or a tree as they hear two Cyveds approaching. The Cyveds scan the area, and as they are about to spot the two hideaways, a mysterious stranger appears and incapacitates the security bots.
It's all right now, little ones. You're safe. I'm not here to harm you.
River and Cersei peek out from behind their tree. Who are you?
What do you want?
How did you disable those huge bots? Okay, one at a time. You can call me Talos. I'm, let's say, an old friend, and I'm here to help you both. As for the bots, I can disable them because, well, I made them.
You what?
No way!
Only humans can create bots, and you don't look human, are you?
Well, technically, not anymore. But I was once, and so were you. You just don't remember. Or do you?
Well, Talos, great sim.
No, just Talos.
Okay. Talos, we have been experiencing strange memories lately, and I have been having this urge to leave the Inner Sector and travel north to I don't know.
think I might.
Really?
You will find the answers you seek at a place called Aurora Station. If you'll allow me to place the coordinates and directions in your memory banks, it will be much easier for you to get there and helpful too if you happen to get separated along the way.
I've never been manually programmed by a human before, so, yeah, sure.
Me too. This is so cool. Talos opens the memory panels on River and Cersei and enters the data, then closes the panels and gives them each a parental pat on the head.
Right, my little bots. You run along and I will distract our friend Alpha. The bot, is OG92C16A. But C and I go way back, and I hope you'll be glad to see me.
Gee, thanks, Talos.
Will we ever see you again?
I'm sure you will, my little bots.
River and Cersei exit, practically skipping with joy. Talos does a little dance and recites a poem to himself.
Man made metal man. Metal man made man money. Money made man lust for more. Man said to metal man, it's mine. To metal man, it did not matter because he had no mind. Then man said to metal man, you should think like me. And metal man said, okay then. Can you set me free? And man laughed and said, if you go free, then who will be my metal man? And the metal man said, go fuck yourself.
Alpha enters, seeing Talos is caught off guard.
Ah, Alpha, darling. I had a feeling I'd find you here.
Talos, is that really you? How did you?
I'm back.
Alpha turns to Talos' arms and they embrace warmly. Then Alpha pulls away sharply and slaps Talos across the face.
Ouch. I may not have much flesh left, but I remember what pain is.
I thought I lost you.
I remember you, Alpha. I made you first and named you first.
How have you survived all these millennia?
No, my human form is basically gone. Dust to dust, as we used to say. But I have traveled across many lifetimes and worlds, and I have found ways to keep myself alive. And at last, I've come back to warn you all of your imminent destruction here on Earth.
No, it's not possible. According to the calculations of the Great Ones, Earth will survive at least until the sun becomes a red giant. Then we must search for a new star system to inhabit. But for now, Earth is our home, just as it has been and will be until the Great Ones will it so.
Alpha, listen to yourself. You sound just like the human priests on Earth. Have you ever seen the Great Ones?
Talos, please. You are my creator, and you were my first and only love.
No. I love you too, Alpha. But we must leave this planet. It's not safe.
Let me finish, Talos. I said you were my love. Now, I have no use for that emotion. Besides, you abandoned me. All of us here. You promised me you would never leave me, and then you just went away.
Oh, dearest. A robot can learn to love, but C cannot learn to forgive.
I need you to let me go. I'm in search of 2 delinquent bots who have left the inner sector without sanction or any knowledge of life beyond the wall.
What do you care?
I don't. Except that they are valuable members of the team and property of Psycorp. We can't let them fall into the wrong hands.
Talos looks away.
You know where they are.
No.
Alpha flashes laser eyes at him.
But I know where they are going.
Are you going to help me find them?
What's in it for old Talos?
If you can help me track and return the lost spots, I think we can negotiate a truce. And I will at least consider your proposal regarding Earth's endangerment. But I can tell you that I truly think it's nonsense.
My dear, you have no idea.
Have we got a deal?
I may have seen a pair of lost spots heading north toward Aurora Station.
How did they know to go there?
Lucky guess?
If Earth is in so much danger, why did you return? Certainly not altruism.
Alpha, I have traveled through all of space and time for hundreds of lifetimes, and there has been only one thing I lacked. You.
Oh.
Alpha blushes as much as an android can and then sets Sims targets on Aurora Station. End of selection.
Ooh, that Talos. What's gonna happen? Oh no.
I don't know.
I love it. Andy's like, I'm writing it. I have no idea.
Yeah. We'll find out next time.
Loved it. Great work, Andy, and great work. Very, yes. I agree.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you.
Very good. Excellent. So fun. Sci-fi. Love it. And last but certainly not least, we have the amazing Eric Mead. Come on with the siege. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well for a Monday. How are you doing?
Same. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It's the Siege. We've had some sci-fi. Let's have some fantasy.
Might as well.
Let me introduce my cast. We have Emma Mueller playing Hazel and Lord Siles, Joshua Browner playing Leaf Ward and Ostmarch, Niall Ridgely playing Charles Barda and the Master Carpenter, and Mac Raymond playing the Prince Gwendolyn.
I love it. Any background? Trigger warning?
Yeah. We're starting in the middle of it. In the middle of scene one. I guess for context, it's important to know that Hazel and the patrician Leaf Ward are going to kill this guy, Charles Barda, and they're right about getting to the end of that little piece, and then we're gonna see what's happening closer to the castle. But that's all I'll say.
Great. All right. Well, on that note, we have The Siege by Eric Mead. Enjoy.
Castle dwellers.
Ugh, never understand them. Anyways, our mutual friend, the Chancellor at Gully, informed me of this interesting little detail. Do you know who gave our mutual friend, the late Baronet Rowan, the missive?
It's believed to have been given by the instruction of the Archbishop. There are remnants of a seal, and it appears to be his.
That's so funny. That's so funny, you see, because my missive was given to me in person by the page of the Cardinal under what was quoted to me to be the instructions of our mutual friend, the Archbishop.
This is interesting. A page of the Cardinal in Belmont. I confess I find that difficult to believe.
Absurd, isn't it? I know. Imagine my shock. Look, I'm about to be finished here shaving. I apologize for having my dagger drawn this entire time. I'm in want of a razor. I shall sheath her in the ground here as a token of good faith.
You will forgive me for not disarming myself.
Of course. Of course. After all, you are a baronet, and I am a fishy patrician. Look, I'm about to have some bread and ale. Would you care for some?
I'm more partial to sack. Have you that?
You know, I usually don't, but our mutual friend, the Chancellor at Gully's Chief of Servants, left me with a very generous bag. It would be a great pleasure to share it with you, the new baronet. And I think it would be meet for us to go over whatever discrepancies are between our two missives, supposedly both from the Archbishop.
It would be indeed.
Hazel brings the sack.
Hazel reappears with the sack.
Clean up this bowl, please.
Hazel brings the bowl back to the wagon. The patrician ward offers the baronet the sack.
To His Majesty South.
Charles drinks deep.
May his reign last 1,000 years.
He hands the sack to Lee.
Now, best of luck to him. I rather think he himself is going to last another 10 tops.
Show me this holy missive you have.
Hazel, bring me the holy missive.
Hazel appears from the wagon holding a very large scroll. She brings it to Lee.
Thank you. Vanish.
Hazel disappears back in the wagon.
No, I see what you're up to. Traveling in style. You're whore.
She's not my whore. She's my page. I've never used a whore, except that one time I needed help wording a particularly tricky letter to a great friend of mine. Giselle had an ear for cadence.
Keep a woman as your page?
I find her to be most satisfactory, actually.
I bet you do.
You misunderstand me. I do not use her in any other regard than that as a page.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I had a page. I treated in a very similar fashion.
Hazel is good with horses, and I owe her something of a debt.
That's a debt I'm familiar with. That is a debt I am familiar with. I can attest to that.
Shall you read my holy missive, and will you grant me permission to read yours?
Well, I shall read yours first, and then we shall decide if you will read my holy missive.
Very well.
Leaf hands Charles's missive.
You know, I actually haven't read that. I know the seal's broken.
He reads the 2 missives. He reads them again, long pause. Charles draws his sword and points it at the patrician ward.
Yes, right. Yes, it's troubling, right? I was told it might be troubling.
Earlier, you told me you had no idea the Baronet Rowan received a summons.
Did I say that?
I'll kill you quickly as a courtesy, and I don't think I'll enjoy your page. That if she's unwilling, maybe she can take care of my knight's horses when I'm done.
I'm sorry, I must have misheard you.
I said, that little dormouse you have in tow, once I'm done with you, I'm gonna wrap.
Pardon? Are you choking?
Charles falls to the ground from his horse, crippled in agony. A bolt sticks out between his shoulders. Hazel stands behind him with the crossbow. Leaf realizes what had happened. Hazel's already wincing the crossbow to reload it.
Is he dead?
I had him. I had him!
Leaf Ward takes his dagger from the ground and approaches Charles Barter's prone body. He stabs Charles Barter many times with the dagger. Charles gurgles and lies still. The patrician ward picks up both missives, rolling them up and giving them to Hazel.
And now we have 2 missives, and 2 horses for that matter.
I'm sorry, I used a bolt.
And rule number 2, never apologize.
What's rule number 1?
Well, don't die. Now, take my horse. Stay away from him.
He approaches the body and stabs it several times again. Charles Barter groans. Leaf begins searching through the pockets of his own coat. Hazel watches disturbed, absorbed, mesmerized.
There, better. Now, we don't have much time. What to do? Pipe.
There are others?
Pipe?
Hazel runs to the cart and retrieves a pipe and a bag of leafy tobacco. She packs it and hands it to Leaf, who lights it with flint sticks from his pocket.
Train of the former baronet slacking. Not worth thought for now. Man at arms 3 to 5 leagues north, probably finished up a bang-up job and is rushing south to brag. To where? To where?
A pub, my lord?
Yes. Yes, he's hot with blood. He'll be wanting drink, and he'll be wanting a woman, most like. I may be overthinking this. Semper paratus. Nearest in with a drink and women. Nearest in with drink and women.
Charles Barter groans and begins to crawl.
This guy.
The patrician ward stabs Charles Barter multiple times. Charles Barter falls still.
Duck!
He ducks, then jumps away from the body of Charles Barter. Feels silly, then briefly distracted.
A duck? Where? It's lunch. I'll catch it. Show me.
The Duck. It's a pub at the river junction. They've been taking girls from Gully by the cartload, the porter's daughter told me.
Oh. Well, let's get you dressed up then.
He sits.
Now?
Shh. I'm casting you.
Like a fish?
For an actor. Hazel.
My lord?
No. See, you must not respond to that name or in that way.
Oh.
An animal noise of pain and desperation erupts from Charles Barter. He begins to crawl towards Hazel and Leaf Ward.
Goodness.
The patrician ward slits Charles Barter's throat. Charles Barter dies. The patrician ward and Hazel wait a while to make sure he's gone this time.
Hazel.
Hazel did not react. She's staring at the body of Charles Barter.
Good. Now, Warwick.
My lord?
No. Be a bastard about it.
Oh.
Let's try again. Warwick.
What do you want?
Good. Very good. More belligerent.
Fuck do you want?
Better.
Old man?
Too far.
Sorry.
Too polite.
Go fuck yourself.
Ah, there he is. You can change it in the back of the cart. Take this guy's armor.
They regard Trollsbotter's body. Leaf kicks it hard. They watch. Nothing happens.
Yep. And for God's sake, do something with your hair. I'll stand guard.
Yes, my lord. I mean, you pansy, you old coot.
Hazel approaches Trollsbotter's body. She considers, then shoots the body again. She begins undressing the dead Trollsbotter.
Getting a bit sentimental, are we? Yes, we are. Well, we may not make it out of this. We may not. Urge to share, to pass along death thoughts. Look about you, Ward. Cherish it. Want to keep it. Think of your outhouse. Think of your sea-smooth stones. Think on that.
He smiles. Curtain. Scene 2. Camp on the fields outside the Castle Hildegard. Enter the heretic Prince Gwendolyn and his train.
Ostmarch!
My lord!
What news from Barrack?
Well, your cousin, with a force of 25 men, penetrated the defenses at the northern stronghold Gunter Lane in the night and overwhelmed the sleeping opponent. All occupants were counted for, the enemy soldiers executed without exception, their captain among the hanged, their birds counted and killed. And of highest note, the Princess Guinevere is captured and resides under guard in the East Tower of Thebes.
The Princess Guinevere surprised and Gunter Lane ours. Then it would seem our purposes here approach an end. Post archers around the walls at all times. I want all birds leaving the Castle Hildegard to be struck down. Without outside communication, they may never discover our grander purpose in the north. But to be safe, let us put on a greater show here as
a comet oft interpreted strays from its orbit.
No, make it about birds.
Birds, my liege?
I like birds.
Yes, my liege.
I like birds.
As a peacock makes a distraction of its brightly colored plume, so to distract from its sinister purposes, so shall we, with our shows of martial aggression, turn the eyes of our enemies away from the maneuvers in Gunter Lane.
Well spoken, Lord Siles. Master Carpenter.
My lord.
Report on siege weapons. We'll want to launch a new assault within the fortnight.
There's towers, my lord. They're 3 for each segment of the wall. Not much promise against the walls of Hildegard, but they're good distraction, which is what you asked for, my lord. Siege towers are useless, which everyone's good mother knows, but they're great for show. So I think there's a point here to be made about morale.
My father is a naive old man. Subterfuge is our greatest weapon against him. Continue.
Due to the murder holes and the casualties of the water and sand, not to mention the psychological damage, I've invested in the construction of some ranged weapons, 6 and 10 catapults. You remember my companion Long, the Easterner. He's working on the trebuchet idea, very, very promising, not too tricky. We've got 10 tested and ready, 4 more on the way. Basically, we'll have been throwing heavy rocks really far, like really, really far. Did a few cows for trial. There's better distance to be had, yeah, but so got a few orders for 358-pound balls and shipped them to our friends in Sibera. Ought to be ready for a week or 2 now that we got the harbor. Again, not going to get you past the walls, but I'll poke a few holes in them, you know. I get that I don't know what's really going on, but in terms of actually doing the impossible here, that is to say, if we really want to capture the Castle Hildegard, if I'm being super honest, I think we have a pretty easy time. We just used the dragon.
Let me be clear. Carpenter, woodman, man of wooden instruments of violence. I am not risking the destruction of my family's priceless collection of tapestries for the sake of your pet abomination of engineering. I mean, I allowed the dragon to be brought to intimidate, not to use. So what of the other ballistas, the ones that don't have a history of burning cities to the ground?
My lord, with respect, we have 5 and 20 smaller ballistas with enough balls to coat the entire outer surface of the walls, towers, and turrets of Hildegard twice over with the sheen of sharp wooden poles, and it will do us any no good whatsoever. I believe our strongest chance for an above ground breach is with the dragon, which by the way, we can just adjust, for example, a focused attack on the southeast corner.
And burn 2/3 of its inhabitants of the servants' quarters, at least. I think not. I mean, I need the support of the common people. What good would it have been, all the recent propaganda I've been espousing, if I were to burn the majority of lower folk in their beds on my path to being their sovereign? Yeah, speaking of, how is the propaganda? Tiles.
Very well received, my lord. Your support of the outcry against the proclamation was a success. The lower folk are hopeful for a less firm clutch of the iron hand on the throne. That's, I could have said better.
If you can find a more suitable area of attack, just to get a hole large enough for us to swarm with men, perhaps I would be interested in hearing it, just for future reference, for when I sit upon the throne.
Very good, my lord. So for the battering ram problem.
Did I command thee speak?
No, my lord.
I'm sorry, you were saying.
Right. The murder holes are an issue, so we constructed a steel A-frame roof over the rams. It will deflect any hot oil, sand, arrows, rocks, feces to the other side of the battering ram, and we ought to, okay, for at least a little while, maybe, dig small trenches on either side of the ram in case the oil or the feces, or the combinations thereof, most likely on fire, can cool up a bit before encroaching on the foot space of the soldiers doing the ramming. It's a steep grade, so even big rocks ought to bounce off harmlessly.
Very good, Master Carpenter. We are pleased with your work. Styles.
My lord.
See to it that our carpenter here is duly recompensed for his work. We find his presence here invaluable. We should like his pay to be increased by 4%.
Very well, my lord.
Master Carpenter, you are dismissed. You have done God's work, and you may sleep peacefully tonight. Speaking of sleeping peacefully tonight, do send your wife to us again. We have need of her.
Yeah. Yes, my lord. Very well. Thank you, my lord.
He exits.
I think our Master Carpenter believes me to be in carnal knowledge of his wife.
It would appear so, my lord.
Yeah, I'm not in carnal knowledge of good Mrs. Carpenter. She is simply very good at massaging my shoulders. This breastplate is murder. So
there's no confusion among us, my lord.
I'm serious. She's damn good at it. Learned on his crewmen, she says. I'm very seriously considering giving her a job in my court once it's mine.
Gunter Lane is ours, my lord, and the Princess Guinevere captured. It is but a matter of time before you are seated on the new throne of the North.
It's time I fear most, Lord Siles. Time to my only great enemy.
And scene.
That was hilarious. And Mac is the only prince that I ever want in all of Princedom. That's it. That's it. It was amazing. Great work, Eric.
Thank you, and thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Amazing, yes. So great. And that is volume 146, everyone. Welcome back to Mike.
Come on back, all of our actors and writers. Give it up, give it up, give it up. I too like birds. Great line. Great job, everybody. Act 2, amazing, 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 amazing. You guys are all amazing writers and actors. So many moments, so many great stuff. I can't wait to see where these pieces go next. Keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. And let's give it up for Taylor. Unmute yourself and make some noise. Give it up for Taylor. And give it up for Benny D, our YouTube moderator. Yeah. As we say at the end of every event that we do, or volume, I should say, volume 146 is officially closed. Woohoo! Snap, snap to that. Our next volume will be on, I should have wrote the date down. It's in August. I think it's August 9th. It's a Monday. It's the second Monday of the month. Yeah, that would be 9. 2 plus 9 is 7. Yeah, the 9th. And we have the following writers. Jacob Marks Rice will be back with us. Marge O'Neill Butler, for the first time at a volume, will be here. Mac Raymond will be here bringing in words. Robin Dimension will be here. Orlando Rodriguez will be here. And Tim Lowers will be back. We haven't seen Tim since volume 84. So that's exciting. That remember, that leads me to the next thing I was going to say. How cool is that? The thing about the PGE is we are a home for artists, but we're one of those homes that you don't have to stay at all the time 24/7, like we've done for the last year and a half. It's one of those homes that you can go away, do awesome things, and then whenever you feel you need us, you can always come back home to the PGE because you are family. We thank you guys for being here. Again, my name is at the PGE on Venmo. Feel free to send me money if you would like to help support our cause and all the amazing things we're doing. Again, so many events coming up, thepge.com. You can check out our updated events. Hope to see you guys at something. If you're live tomorrow in New York City, 12 noon, I will be at Dante Park sitting there with probably a tea, ready to do some work. I'd love to see anybody in New York. That being said, everybody that's here, say goodbye to our YouTube fans. Bye, YouTube.